Right. Thank you, Dave. Thank you, Council President, members of the council. Quick, I've got a brief report tonight, but impactful. I think you'll like it. So, Dave, let's go to the first slide. All right, just a quick update. And as you've seen, and as you're working on your council goals, mayor's initiatives are also in play. I find this almost 100% in alignment. If we're not, we should talk about it, because we really don't get anything done unless we're working together. So one of the programs I brought to you that you supported was the startup of a STEM coding program at the Marvin Williams Center. And so this is just a brief update. As of October, when we finally kicked it off up to January, we have 55 hours of student learning. This goes 5 days a week and Saturdays, and each session ranges from 8 to 30 students. So just a little bit on that program. So it's worthwhile, and yeah, we'll keep you updated on that. Next slide, please. So this is another initiative, and even though it's a 2023 initiative, those of you that were around when I first took office in my first term, you worked with me. I came to you with a proposal to restart our street and sidewalk program in the city. It had been dormant for over 10 years. And with your support, with your backing, with budget support, we were able to staff up on all the areas that needed it, including people, equipment, and of course, adjusting for supplies. And so this right here is a map of accomplishments for this program. And this here is just a specific part of it. It's the streets, and it's basically the complete streets program. And so this doesn't take into account all of the street work, the chip seal, the overlay work that we've done, or the hundreds of trip hazards we've removed. This is just basically some sidewalk repair, ADA, new sidewalk installation, ADA installation, and those kinds of projects. So we'll keep working on that. That'll stay a mayor's initiative or into the future till we get this institutionalized, since it is relatively new. So next slide, please. So this is, all parts of my job are fun. I appreciate even the most challenging days. But this one is rewarding, and when I'm able to honor exceptional students and honor them and hopefully help them onto their paths, it just brings a great special reward to me. So I'm just going to talk a little bit. I'm going to have about Claire Worthen, and she's going to join me here, but her grandparents are here tonight, and I'll have Claire introduce them. She's receiving a $500 scholarship, and this is for the Mayor's Youth Leadership Award. It's a program I started, again, to help students who show that push, that knack for leadership, that desire for leadership, and to encourage it. And I did this also as a way, it's a conduit and a way for me to promote them onto the Association of Washington Cities, a statewide leadership award. And so we always get a number of outstanding students. You should be proud and rest secured in our future here. Bremerton has a lot of them. Claire rose to the top. And I'm going to read a letter I sent the Association of Washington Cities, and then I'll ask Clara to come up and join me. Okay, so to who it may concern, I am pleased to provide this letter of support for Claire Worthen for the AWC Center for Quality Community Scholarship. Claire is an impressive student committed to leadership, public service in her community. Claire has served in numerous leadership roles in her school, including as class president and as ASB president, National Honor Society president, as model UN Secretary General, among others. She has also participated as a page with the Washington State Senate and as a member of her local Senators Youth Council. She has been committed to serving her school and community as a volunteer Spanish translator to Bremerton School District for several years, as Black Student Union webmaster, and as a St. Vincent de Paul Food Bank volunteer. Additionally, she has participated in soccer and golf at Bremerton High School, earning Most Valuable Player honors in girls soccer and a sportsmanship award in girls golf. Through her involvement in student government and school activities, she is focused on listening to numerous different perspectives and advocating for the needs of other students. Claire's goal is to pursue a career in political science or public policy and aspires to make positive changes in her community. On behalf of the City of Bremerton, I strongly support Claire Worthen for the AWC Center for Quality Community Scholarship. So this was signed by me. That was a letter I sent to the state. And now, Claire, if I could have you come up. So, Claire, I just have Dave, I'm not sure, can everybody still hear me from this? I'm just going to present this award. I'll present this award to you, Claire. It's a certificate of recognition. And maybe the most important part, the $500 check that goes with this. Yes. And if you would like to introduce the grandparents and say a few words.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Yep. Okay, there we go. Hi, everyone. My name is Claire Worthen. I'm a senior at Bremerton High School this year. And with me tonight, I have my grandparents, Tammy and Mike Mullane, and then Larry and Gloria Worthen. I'm really happy they were here to come and support me with this. And I just want to say a big thank you to the city, to Mayor Wheeler, just for this incredible opportunity to be able to present my skills and show everything that students at Bremerton, because I'm just one, and there are multiple students who are like me. And I think that it's really positive to see the impact that students can have on our community. And so something like this scholarship is really important to kind of keep advocating and keep pushing for students to continue into higher education. And so again, a huge thank you to you all and to Mayor Wheeler for this incredible opportunity. And it's been great. So thank you.
Well, thank you, Claire, and thank you, Council. That concludes my report tonight.
Well, thank you so much, Mayor. On behalf of Council, let me say congratulations, Claire. Thank you for all the work you do in our community, and to your grandparents. I'm going to suspect that you're just a little bit proud of her. So, congratulations, so thank you again. All right, next we'll go to the next item, which is item number 4, the consent agenda.
Thank you, President Coughlin. For approval on the consent agenda are the following items. A, claims and check register. Approval of the following checks and electronic fund transfers. 1, check numbers 401738 through 401892, and electronic fund transfers B36829 through B36909, and the grand total amount of $3,209,171.28. 2, regular payroll for pay period ending January 31st, 2023, in the amount of $1,096,102.23. 3, regular payroll payout for pay period ending January 31st, 2023, in the amount of $22,510.13. B, minutes of joint planning session, January 28th, 2023. C, minutes of meeting, February 1st, 2023. D, minutes of study session, February 8th, 2023. E, purchase of 2023 excess workers compensation insurance with Midwest Employers Casualty Company. F, ordinance number 5468, amending section 5.50.032 of the Bremerton Municipal Code relating to promotions, salary, and benefits. G, change order number 2 to contract with Active Construction, Inc. for Oyster Bay Beach Sewer Upgrades Project. This concludes the reading of the consent agenda.
Thank you. Does any member of the public wish to comment on any one of these items? Check on Zoom. So one more time, if any member of the public wants to comment on these items. All right, seeing no hands on Zoom and no one in the session, we'll go to the council for a motion. Yes, Councilmember Younger.
Move to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Councilmember Frey. We have a motion and a second. I call for the question.
Councilmember Chamberlain,
Yes.
Frey,
Yes.
Dennehy,
Yes.
Goodnow,
Yes.
Younger,
Yes.
Coughlin.
Yes.
Motion carries unanimously.
Thank you. Next up, item 5, we have public recognition. As noted on the agenda, public recognition provides an opportunity for attendees to address the council on any city-related item that is not already listed on tonight's agenda. Please either line up at the podium in person or participating by Zoom, raise your hand and wait to be recognized. We just request that you state your name for use in the record and if you live or work in Bremerton, and to limit your comments to 3 minutes or less, and we'll have a timer system so that everyone is treated equally. With that, I open up public recognition and we'll go to the podium in the room here. Please go ahead.
Hello, Council, Mayor, and fellow citizens. My name is Mary Lou Law. I've been in Bremerton for many years, and I am here again to try to bring back the Pledge of Allegiance to opening our ceremonies for our public meetings. And with that, I would like to invite the public and the council or any of the staff to join me in pledging allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'd like to read just a small preface for the Constitution and Declaration of Independence. To encourage people everywhere to better understand and appreciate the principles of government that are set forth in America's founding documents, the Cato Institute is pleased to publish this pocket edition of the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution of the United States of America. This preface has been prepared by Roger Pylan, Director at Cato Center for Constitutional Studies. For more information about the Cato Institute, please see the end of this publication or go online for Cato. In 1776, America's founders gathered in Philadelphia to draft a Declaration of Independence, which dissolved the political ties that had bound the American people to Great Britain. A new nation was thus born, free and independent, United States of America. 11 years later, in 1787, after American patriots had won our independence on the battlefield, many of the men who had met earlier in Philadelphia, plus others, met there again to draft a plan for governing the new nation, the Constitution of the United States. In 1789, after the plan had been ratified, the new government was established, together with the Declaration of the Constitution, are America's founding documents. As amended over the years, the Constitution is the supreme law of the land, the nation's fundamental law. But the broad language of the Constitution is illuminated by the principles set forth in the Declaration. To better understand and appreciate the form of government we have, therefore, it is important to look first to the Declaration, where the founders outlined their moral vision of the government it implied. Addressing a candid world, the founders' immediate aim in the Declaration was to justify their decision to declare independence. Toward that end, they set forth a theory of legitimate government, then demonstrated how far British rule had strayed from that ideal.
There's a
But
5-second warning.
Pardon me?
There's 5 seconds left.
Okay. But their arguments served not simply to discredit British rule.
Thank you so much, Ms. Long, for your
In
comment.
addition, okay, I was gonna
I'm
have
so
one more
sorry. To be
sentence.
fair, I
I
have
can't even
to-
do one more sentence?
I have to end it there to be fair to everybody.
Okay. Well, I'll be back.
Thank you so much for your comment, Ms. Long. Is there anyone else for public recognition? Yes, we'll go in the room here.
Yes, Jane Rabolowski, and I live in Bremerton. I listened to the discussion last week about the proposal to possibly change some of our drug laws in Bremerton. And one thing I want to make sure everybody knows here is there is no detox in Kitsap County. We have to send people to Seattle. There's some private companies that have a 28-day inpatient, but I think it's really important that everybody's aware we can't just help somebody by bringing them to detox right away. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Wroblewski. We'll be continuing that conversation in next week. Anybody else who has to go online to LLS?
Hi, sorry, I don't know why it says LLS. My name is Sarah Borden. I am the owner of Ride or Die Salon here in Bremerton. Hello?
Oh, yes, we can hear you. No,
Oh, sorry. Yeah, so I had just, I had heard that my name had got brought up, and I just kind of wanted to clarify that, you know, part of my story is I've been clean for 7 years. I did spend 3 years in prison, and I did clean up my life while I was in there. And I just wanted to say that, you know, it wasn't really prison that got me clean. I had actually suffered a miscarriage while in prison, and it kind of made me have a turn point of my life. And so I think I was sent an ordinance on the drug issues that are happening in Bremerton. And it's just in my heart that I don't believe that incarceration is the, you know, primary solution to possession charges. And so that's just all I really wanted to share. And if anybody had any questions about me or my story, I would be more than happy to answer them.
No, thank you so much for that comment. And anytime, feel free to email the City Council email address with more information or testimony. Much appreciated.
Thank you.
All right, for next public comment, we'll go in the room here to the podium. Please go ahead, sir.
Thomas Waters. I'm a citizen of Bremerton, and I would like to reply to the Pledge of Allegiance. Unfortunately, I have aphasia, and I want to write a script for me to follow. So I'll have comments later at the next meeting. Thanks.
Thank you. We'll look forward to those comments next meeting. Is there anybody else for public recognition? Seeing nobody on Zoom and no one in the room, I'll go ahead and close public recognition and move on to general business.
Thank you. Let's see, general business item 6A has been postponed. So we're down to 6B, which is Public Works Agreement with Utter Associates, Inc. for audiovisual equipment design and install at the Bremerton Municipal Court and budget adjustment to Trial Court Improvement Fund. Our presenter for this item is Financial Services Director Mike Riley.
All right, thank you, Council. As we discussed a couple weeks ago at our City Council meeting, we had awarded the contract to Utter Associates at just over $120,000. After that time, Melinda Monroe, our contracts administrator, had met with the company to kind of finalize the contract, finalize the details. We identified during that meeting some scope adjustments and integrations, and the costs. There was some cost increases that were justified in that meeting. So we're back to you tonight with a contract of $152,600 in front of you. We worked closely with the court. Court Administrator Jennifer Johnson is here tonight. We worked with the judge to identify the funding sources to be able to move this forward. During that discussion, we were able to find existing funding within the court budget that they've been awarded with some grant funds, actually close the gap from what was previously discussed. Previously was presented, the City Council had authorized up to just over $40,000 of general fund money that would be pushed into this project if we didn't meet certain timelines. The proposal in front of you now removes that. There is no general fund need. We have identified the resources in the agenda bill. I'll kind of work through those. With the adjustments with the contractor, they were actually able to meet our timeline by the end of June to be able to use 100% of the AOC $100,000 grant that was awarded to the court. So be able to maximize that. In the previous discussions, we were looking more like somewhere in the $80,000 range. So the funding source is $100,000 from AOC with the audiovisual grant. We have $20,000 identified for AV equipment with the 0.1% that was awarded to the court. And also $8,000 from AOC with the therapeutic court program was tied to audiovisual. So the remaining balance of $24,600 to be able to fund the full project, we identified in the court's trial court improvement fund, there was fund balance available for this project. So 100% of the project can be executed through the court's funds and not the general fund. Thank you.
Thank you, Director Riley. Does any member of the public wish to comment on this item? Checking on Zoom real quick. Seeing no hands are in the room. We will then go to the council for a motion. Yes, Councilmember Frey.
I move to approve the Public Works Agreement with Utter Associates Incorporated in the amount of $152,600 and approve a budget adjustment to the Trial Court Improvement Fund in the amount of $24,600 and authorize the mayor to finalize and execute the agreement with substantially the same terms and conditions as presented.
Thank you. Councilmember Chamberlin.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. We're open for discussion. Councilmember Frey, you have the floor first if you like.
Yes, I want to commend the court staff and your office, Mr. Riley, for getting together on this. Although the costs, overran as all, it seems like a lot of our costs are running over what we had originally estimated. You have found 100% funding for them to identify it. And that's just great work. It's a need. Worked with finance director, you found the money, Mike, is what you did. So thank you for that. I don't really have any questions. I just wanted to say good job.
Thank you. Councilmember Chamberlain.
Thank you. Oh my goodness. Once again, Mike Riley's worked his magic and balanced this budget, so to speak, for the AV equipment. I just wanted to kind of check in on the bid process for this and to find out, did we go through an open bid process? And are we good to go with a contract for this specific amount, or are there going to be any more surprises later?
So the answer is yes. We did have an open RFP project. Was put out, and this was the lowest responsible bidder. And so no, we should be going forward with normal contract process. Again, we will, if things are identified that come up, we'll be briefing internally or back to council if needed. But that's had a good conversation with the contractor. I believe this should be the last time you see us, hopefully. But we'll let you know if something changes. But we're good to move forward.
Fantastic. That's all my questions. Thank you so much.
Any other comments from council? All right, I'll just echo the thanks, Director Riley, for working with the courts. Thanks to the courts for getting these grants and upgrading the equipment there. I know it's been long overdue. So great news all around, in my opinion. All right, and seeing no further comments, we'll call for the question.
Councilmember Frey,
Yes.
Dennehy,
Yes.
Goodnow,
Yes.
Younger,
Yes.
Chamberlin,
Yes.
Coughlin.
Yes.
Motion carries unanimously. This concludes general business.
Thank you. All right, moving on to item 7, council reports. We'll go ahead to council reports, and since this is the last council meeting of the month, we'll start with District 7, Councilmember Eric Younger.
Yeah, I'd just like to talk a little bit about the proposed ordinance on making open use in public a misdemeanor with the option of diversion to drug treatment. And I encourage everyone to go to the council meeting when we hopefully read this ordinance, but also write in your comments so we can review them during the study session. I think it's important to, if you haven't already, to actually read what's in the proposed ordinance. The intent, in my opinion, is not necessarily to criminalize open use, but to serve as the carrot and the stick to say that you can either, if you're guilty of this infraction or this misdemeanor, to either go to jail or seek treatment. I respect Ms. Revelowski, and if she says there is no treatment facility, that opens up a bigger discussion, because we just spent all this money on therapeutic courts, and this is interesting to me that I would like to hear what the court system is doing with the therapeutic support. If there's, so unfortunately, maybe I can talk to you right after the meeting, Ms. Revelowski. But this is interesting. I'm not sure even resolved to push this forward after the next study session. It's a very complicated issue, and I'm looking forward to a robust discussion and coming up with the best solutions. So it should be an interesting meeting, and I welcome everyone's comments, but I ask that we're just kind of read the ordinance and then give me your concerns. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Younger. Next, we'll go to District 5, Councilmember Michael Goodnow.
Thank you. So I think I do have a slide. So while we're waiting for that, I wanted to just, I was talking to some of the BCAT staff earlier, and I just wanted to share that they have an open position for an associate producer. It's a 20-hour job. It is not something that you really have to have the technical experience for, as much as some people skills, maybe being comfortable being in front of camera. So associate producer looks like an interesting way to get involved with BCAT. And then there's a slide there. Don't lie to me. Sorry. I just wanted to mention that the Charleston district, so it's actually the Charleston Business District, has a meeting on February 21st. It's going to be at Eastern Wind Glass. It's from 6 to 7:30. There's a lot of new energy happening down on Callow for the Charleston District. There is a Zoom link. You can find that online. I'm not going to read off this long link, but you can reach out to me or find the Charleston District. I think it's the Historic Charleston Business District online, and that's all I have.
Well, yeah, and maybe if we're able to get the slide before the end of council reports, we can pop it up so folks can see it. Okay, but with that, we'll go to District 4, Councilmember Quinn Dennehy.
Thank you so much, Council President. Yeah, I just wanted to thank Sarah Borden for showing up and giving more to that story. I think that that really helps me kind of frame things, at least in one aspect of the ordinance that will be debated. I know it's a really difficult issue, and I think we all want what is best for folks that are suffering in multiple ways. And so I'm glad that we're all being very, very thoughtful and listening to the community about it. Other than that, thanks so much.
Thank you, Councilmember Dennehy. Next up, District 2, Councilmember Denise Frey.
Thank you. I think I have a few slides. Just a few. And thanks to staff for helping me with this. You might have read in the Kitsap Sun, this has been the poster child of Bremerton Blight in East Bremerton. This is the old Sizzler building, and many of us who live in East Bremerton drive by it every day. And it's kind of, you know, you just get that icky feeling in your stomach every time you drive by. And go to the next slide, please. This has been long in the making, I'm sure, and city staff, I'm sure, have been involved in helping this owner through permitting and so forth. But a man who has a very successful sushi and accompanying food restaurant down in Gig Harbor purchased the building a few years ago, but it, you know, there was this pandemic thing. And he's going to be opening up Dojo there in East Bremerton. So locally owned, he really wants to invest in Bremerton. And I think it's just such a great I'm hoping it's going to be the poster child now of what I heard termed the Bremer songs, the Renaissance of Bremerton. So next slide. You know, it took me a while when I first moved here to realize we had an ice arena here, and it's a very nice ice arena. We contract those services, but that's the city's building there. They're hosting an open house this Friday from 5:15 to 6:45. You can get more info at bremertonicecenter.com. And also residents, Bremerton residents, can pick up a free pass for Wednesday skate through March 29th. It doesn't include the skate rental, but you can get more information at the Sheridan Park Community Center or by dialing, I love this, 360-479-RINK. I went to the Chamber Luncheon recently and I met a new business owner in East Bremerton, acehandymanservices.com. So it's like your Ace Hardware, who I know and love, but now they have handyman services where they partner you with a local handyman. Owned and operated, he lives in East Bremerton. His business is in East Bremerton. That's what you get when you go to a chamber luncheon. You know, you get to meet people like that. And I really embrace that opportunity. So with that, I want to say congratulations to Claire, not only on this achievement, you've already achieved great success. And I wish you nothing but the best. I look forward to reading about you in the Kitsap Sun.
All right, thank you, Councilmember Frey. Next up is District 1, Councilmember Jennifer Chamberlin.
Okay, oh my goodness. Claire, congratulations. I'm in Olympia right now at a conference, and I was actually out on the Senate floor for a little while watching the pages and remembering when my son was a Senate page. And it was a good experience. And being at AWC, I'm just gonna bring back a little bit of information and relevant to what we're gonna be talking about next week. Can you hear me okay? I see you making some, are we good to go?
Yes, can I keep Senator Jennifer, Councilmember Chamberlain on the screen?
Or not,
We can all
really.
see her face.
Not necessary if you can hear my voice, really. There is a Senate bill that's passed, but that's in the process, but it needs fiscal committee action. Which means they need to fund it, and it's a Blake fix. It's what we know as the Blake fix, SB 5536. And if you read it, it's actually a little bit more harsh than our proposed ordinance, which makes possession and use a gross misdemeanor. But the difference is that it's funded, that there's going to be funding behind it rather than having an unfunded mandate at a city level. There's hopefully going to be funding coming down from the state to put this into place. So once again, that bill, if you want to look it up, is SB 5536. And thank you to my friend Sarah, who came and shared her story, and to all who gave public comment today. I have a few slides. I'll try to be brief, but this was fun. I got to do 24 hours with the Bremerton Fire Department. There on the left is me wearing the headset backwards. You can't tell it's backwards, but I learned later I was wearing it backwards. They even dressed me up. I did a little, I ran up the training stairs with a hose. I think it's about 75 pounds worth of equipment. So we can go to the next slide. One of the really great things I got to see at the very beginning of my my time with these folks was the multi-company operation, and that's a collaboration that day between all five of those fire departments. Oh, I'm so sorry, 6. So Bremerton, Central South, North Kitsap, and Bainbridge Island. And a really nice comment that I heard from the firefighters was that the training went smoothly because, the operation went smoothly because they train out of the same manual. So their collaboration went well. And so I just there's a few shots, everybody working together, one of the training operations, and we can go to the next slide. Maybe. So I was with Bremerton Fire Department Station 3. Here's a couple shots. All the way on the right, I got to actually hold Jaws of Life. The other picture, they dressed me up and ran me through one of their exercise, very simple exercise. And I present myself as being super tough and whatever, but man, when they had me in the full gear and then they simulated a blackout, I actually had a very, very mild panic attack, but I wasn't able to do the whole activity. So this is not a field for the weak of heart. I'm going to tell you what I learned about white cloud syndrome. This is what happens when you have a guest come and visit and the calls stop. So this is the first time I've been accused of creating the opposite of chaos, because what I did is basically shut down the whole county for calls on a Friday night just by being a visitor. But still, and this is for the mayor, I walked about 6.1 miles, about 12,000 steps just in my not very busy shift with the fire department. Calls go throughout the night. They respond to every call, which is, and you know, not to throw shade on the police department, but our fire department and EMTs respond to every call they get. They don't, they don't have a mechanism where they can follow up. They drive out there. When calls come in the night, they go out. And so just to bring back some feedback from the firefighter EMTs that I talked to, they just want us to know that they are understaffed compared to all of the departments of this type of our size, for a city our size. And that there's times where they're barely able to meet the RCW and WAC codes. Sometimes they're not able to in emergency situations. And I can explain more about that another time, but I'm really honored to have spent that time with these folks, and I just want them to know how much I appreciate them. And I don't know, I can't speak for everybody, but I know that council definitely appreciates you and your service to our community. And that's my report. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you, Councilmember Chamberlain. Last up, I have myself, a couple slides for District 3 here. Perfect. So first up, I just saw this announced and made a little infographic from the website, but there's going to be a community open house regarding the Warren Bridge multimodal project on February 23rd, 4 to 7 p.m. at the Sheridan Park Community Center over at 680 Leba Boulevard. So I know Public Works is the project they've been working really hard on. So they'll have some information to share with the community and be soliciting feedback. So encourage everybody to attend and tell your friends, and definitely want everybody's input on this project. Next slide. And there's a Spyglass neighborhood that's being organized by local resident Blake Yarborough. So folks are interested in joining that. It's Monday, February 20th at 10 a.m. at 655 Highland. And I wanted to spotlight this, not just because in District 3, but also that Blake was working with Kitsap County's Adopt a Spot program. So the county offers, I believe, equipment and services and training on how to clean up your neighborhood. I know our Public Works does an amazing job, but it's a big city, and I love the opportunity for local residents to get involved and help out and feel like they own a piece of their city. So I thought this was fantastic. And finally, I think my last slide here was City Action Day. So as I mentioned, Member Mockler and Councilmember Chamberlain and myself went down to Olympia today. We'll be also there tomorrow meeting with local legislatures. And I just want to say what a fantastic opportunity it was to learn how to be effective as a city on your state legislature level, and just how many common challenges that cities tackle, and what's happening in Bremerton is happening in cities all across the state. And so it's really a great opportunity to learn from each other and know that we don't have to reinvent the wheel. If we have a problem, someone else has probably tried a few solutions. So just a great chance to collaborate. And on that note, I also want to echo, I really appreciate all the public comments, especially as it relates to the public substance use, resolution that we're discussing. I like to say we could make our job really easy up here by never tackling anything tough or difficult, but I don't think we'd be doing our job if we did. So I really appreciate the feedback, and I look forward to us continuing to tackle difficult, complex issues. And I think we have the slide for the Charleston District. Councilmember Goodnow, you want to say anything more on it?
So I think it's pretty self-explanatory. Again, there's a link at the bottom, and somebody can
contact me or the Charleston group if they would like to attend. I do think space is going to be kind of limited, so following it on Zoom might be a great option. Thanks.
All right, and I'll just wrap up by thanking everybody again for being here, and congratulations to our recipient. And yeah, please keep attending meetings and speaking up and writing in. It's appreciated. All right, and with that, the next study session will be held here in the first floor meeting chambers next Wednesday, February 22nd, beginning at 5 p.m. with a remote viewing option. That concludes tonight's regular council business. Meeting is adjourned.